Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Grandpa.
I'm Matt. I'm Joel.
I'm Megan.
I'm Petey.
And we're some of the Veggie boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. We just got the farm market all set up and filled up. Dad got back from the wholesaler. We got his truck all unloaded. And we're all set and ready to head out to the fields, but we're finishing off feeding animals first. That didn't take much time. We got the animals fed, so now we're on our way back to the fields. First thing on our list of picking today is sweet corn. Now you may have saw earlier, we loaded 3 bins onto the truck this morning. We got a lot of sweet corn to harvest today. Before you start picking sweet corn though, everyone likes to go for a little walk, right? Not really. But last time we picked, we stopped somewhere out here in the field. We just gotta find where we stopped. Okay, here we go. The telltale sign of where we stopped picking. All the corn is bent over. Now in that first bin, we only needed 200 ears, and it looked really full. That's because these ears are so large. At this point in the year, we're only getting 450 to 500 ears of corn in a bin because these are some thick ears. When we sell bins of sweet corn, we're actually selling by the dozen, whether it's 60 dozen, 50 dozen, whatever the customer needs. So the more ears we can fit inside a bin, the more money we are making. However, it is nice to see bins that are just full of these large ears. Now for sweet corn today, we're picking a variety all of you know really well. This variety is called Montauk. Montauk has long been one of our favorite varieties due to its resilience and beautiful ear. Plus, this sweet corn is one of the best tasting we've ever had. Fortunately, where we're at right now, this patch of sweet corn has been producing very well, and there's gonna be plenty of sweet corn to pick here for quite some time. So if we have lots of orders, it's gonna be no problem. We can fill them all. We just got our last bin of sweet corn harvested. We needed 200 ears in the first bin for an order, and then we needed 2 bins just for the farm market today. Now that we are done with sweet corn, we're gonna be moving on to our next job. Not all of us need to go back to unload the corn. Daniel and Matt are gonna be going back, and the rest of us are gonna be staying here and picking. A little big. As we are harvesting the pickling cucumbers today, I am seeing less cucumbers and less blossoms, which that's okay. We've been harvesting these cucumbers for a few weeks now, and as the year goes on, they really start to slow down in production, especially towards the later part of the year. Now, pickling cucumbers start to slow down in production for a number of reasons. One of the biggest reasons is it's starting to get cooler. As you guys know, these plants like it hot and humid. So as it starts to get cooler, they really start to slow down in their production, especially at night. Another thing that's a big deal with pickling cucumbers is disease. Now, fortunately for this year, we on the farm did not deal with too much disease. I'm thinking that's because it was so dry. A lot of the wet, rainy weather brings the disease when it's damp under these plants. So haven't dealt much with disease, so that's not been a big issue. Even though cooler temperatures and disease are 2 big factors that really start to slow down cucumbers, we're only being affected by one of them here on the farm. That would be the cooler weather. But there is one more thing that is starting to give us problems. And that number one thing that is causing us issues is we are actually seeing less hours of daylight. As we get moving on into the fall time, we start moving from September into October, we really start to see less daylight hours. And daylight hours are one of the most important things when it comes to growing vegetables. Now, it's a losing battle to try and fight less sunlight hours, but it is something we end up dealing with And here in northeast Pennsylvania, it seems like out of nowhere, the days just start getting shorter and shorter. Now, just one more interesting thing about daylight hours. If we go back about 2 months, our days are 2 hours longer than they are now when it comes to sunlight. So that's something interesting to think about. These plants have 2 hours less of growable light. We are all finished with the pickling cucumbers, and now we've moved on to our regular straight 8 cucumbers. So we have 2 rows here we want to get harvested, and we'll be able to bring them back to the farm. We were worried they weren't going to grow as fast, just like the pickling cucumbers, but from what we've seen, there is some nice stuff here. Not as much that would have been here before, but we're still happy with what we're getting. We're still trying to. Oh, sorry. Hey, ooh, that's a pretty one. Now, as you have seen, we are working on harvesting bell peppers. We're mostly looking for red or anything with color, but if we are finding some nice green ones, we're taking them. Wow, that's a beautiful one. Things move really quickly when we all work together. We've all been harvesting peppers, and Petey has been bringing them back to the truck. When the plants are as loaded with peppers as they are, and everything has really nice size to it, you can fill up some baskets pretty quick.
Let's put them through the potato.
Well, we've picked all the baskets that we brought with us this morning, so we gotta head back to the farm. Do you guys know what that means when we filled up all the baskets?
It means we didn't bring enough.
But does it make you feel good knowing we filled all the baskets that we brought?
No, we didn't bring enough.
Okay.
We have 4.5 minutes before lunch.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
She saw me and goes, baby.
Now that we are back, the first thing we did was dumped all the peppers in on the bin in there, and now we're loading up our cucumbers. Look who's here. Hello. We did a lot of picking today. I could have used your help out in the fields.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think of that? Now for lunch today, we have some hot and cold ham sandwiches. It looks like there's some Jell-O in here. Check that out. What a score. And we got some watermelon. Just got finished eating lunch and then Dad and I came out to the garden. We need to pull some red beets. Yes, red beets that weren't eaten by deer. How wonderful. Now some of you may have not known, because our red beets were ravaged by the deer, we decided to plant another planting and they're ready to harvest. And these red beets fared much better than our previous red beets we had planted. Look beautiful. Now pulling red beets is a lot easier when you have a crew like we do, because you just need one person going out through and pulling the red beets out of the soil, and then everybody else works on sorting them. So I'm just going to continue pulling beets out and putting them on piles for the boys.
Alright, now I'm confused.
We got our red beets that we needed. Now, we needed 2 baskets for an order, and then the rest are just for selling in the farm market.
I dropped a beet. He doesn't even know what a beet is.
Oh, Joel, I dropped the beet.
No one cares, Andy.
Ouch! My feelings.
Don't lie.
You don't have those either. See, this really brings Joel back to his childhood. When Joel was a young man, he used to bob for red beets instead of bobbing for apples. So this is his favorite job and it makes him very happy.
Papa Isaac always said, when you're going in deep, close your eyes.
We are now on our way back out to the fields. We need a few sweet peppers, but more importantly, we need some hot peppers. Oh my word, look at this boy already out here harvesting. How's the peppers look, Daniel?
They look really good.
Now you heard me mention in the truck we need quite a few hot peppers, so I'm gonna get started picking hot cherry. Matthew and Daniel are helping me. Dad is working on long hots, and then Joel and Petey are working on the Cubanelle peppers. Oh my word, that is a lot of red. Top of the plant there's some really nice peppers, but at the bottom of the plant, that's where all the action seems to be. There's so many on the bottom. Remember at the beginning of harvest where it was so difficult to find any color in the peppers? It's definitely not like that anymore. Wow, everything looks nice. Well, there is one thing I am positive of. There is no short supply of hot cherry peppers at this moment. Now, what will eventually happen is these plants will get picked completely off, and then whatever blossoms are still pushing out will eventually become peppers. But after you go through and pick the main harvest of these hot cherry peppers, they don't produce as much the second time, which is okay. Because if we get a lot off the first time, then we are happy. We got all of our hot cherry picked. Now we're moving on to jalapenos. Sometimes people ask what our most popular pepper is that we sell. For the sweet peppers, it's probably bell or Italianelle. But for the hot peppers, surprisingly enough, it's the hot cherry, not the jalapeno. And that might shock a lot of people. And that might shock a lot of people because jalapenos are just so popular. But the hot cherry, that's our biggest seller. We got all of the hot peppers that we needed. Joel is working on yellow bell right now. He just got his second basket. And from what you guys can see, this is a really colorful load on the truck so far. But we're not done picking yet. We're gonna work on getting a few more peppers here, and then we're gonna be moving over to our next pepper field to try and get some green bell and green Italiano. These are the last peppers we need to pick in this section before we move. There's a lot of colored bell in here. These were actually our white bell and our purple bell, but they're starting to change colors, so we're gonna take some of them.
Yeah, it did.
Back right up to it. 100
Pepper taste any different?
What'd you say?
The purple peppers taste any different?
They're very sweet, these peppers in here. And then once they turn from purple to like this purple to the reddish, they get even sweeter. Now the reason why we came over to here was because one, there wasn't enough green Italianelle over there, and two, there wasn't enough green bell peppers over there. This patch was planted much later than that one, and the peppers still have really nice size over here, but they're not turning red, which is what we're looking for. You're good. What are you picking? Zucchini? Ah. Well, that wraps it up for the pepper field today. Let's see what we got on the truck.
Truck's beautiful. Load looks good too.
Now we just need to find somewhere to put it all. It took us quite a while, but we got everything unloaded. And then once we got everything unloaded, we have to find a way to fit it into the cooler, which definitely took some time. But we got all that taken care of, and now we're back out into the fields. We need a little bit more sweet corn before we end the day.
So a little bit here, what I'm doing is, you see I'm staying with the guy that's mainly in the back. So you don't want to get your bin too far ahead of him, because then he's got to walk forward past all of his ears, and then when he walks back, he's behind even more. So you really want to keep your bin even with the guy who's all the way back. Because the guys that are all the way too forward, they can walk back because they're ahead. But the guy who's back, you don't want to get too far ahead of him, because then he gets overwhelmed and there's too much work for him.
That's it, guys.
Hey, why are you doing just... Never mind.
Speak, Matthew, speak.
I can't. I quit.
Can I help you?
No, it's hot outside.
Closed. Can I help you? Oh, you need a hug? You're sweaty.
Let's see here. Let's see how full this... Oh, that is one full cooler. There goes another plane. It's been planes and helicopters all day up there. Hey, what's up? What's up? I made it up to the house, and Kylie is having some snacks right now. As you can see on the table, there's nothing on the table. That's because it's date night. And since it's date night, that means this is where we're gonna end the video. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!